Hi everyone, it's Mari here for Honeybee Stamps. I'm going to be using the gorgeous Lovely Layers April Showers die set today for my project. This is a really large die set that allows you to create some really adorable die cuts for your different projects. I've die cut these pieces all out of white cardstock and I have them placed on my Picket Fence Studio grip mat. This is a really large mat that allows me to put all of these different die cuts out at one time, which is really handy. And I'm going to just go in with a variety of distress oxides and add some ink to all of these different pieces. And so this is a really simple process. If you don't want to die cut out of different colors of cardstock, this is probably one of the easiest ways to colorize your different pieces without having to shift to a variety of different colors of paper. And so I wanted my really sweet little boots here to be a combination of yellows and oranges. And what I really love about using the ink blending for the different die cuts is that you can achieve the light and dark levels really easily. And I think you do have a little bit more control over your color. And so that aspect of the ink blending on the die cuts is definitely my favorite. Now, between each of the different colors, I'm just going to go ahead and clean the grip mat just with a little bit of baby wipe. And then I'll just continue the process with all of the other pieces. Now, I did really use the guide that Honeybee provides for layering these together for the inspiration for my color choices today. So my little boots are yellow, and then I wanted to go with a teal for the umbrella. Now with the base for the umbrella, instead of starting with the lighter color, I started with the darkest. And then these two layering pieces that are going to go over top are going to be a little bit lighter to just allow that look of the back layer being darker, like in the shadow. And so that's how I achieved that. And after I've just colorized each of these, I'll just lift them off of the grip mat with my tweezers, and then I'll just color clean in between the colors. So now just going into some of the florals. This one has a green base for the foliage there, and then I'll just use a combination of oranges and yellows for the layering pieces that go over top. And you can just see that I'm just switching up my brushes in between colors, but I do just have a brush dedicated basically to each different color of the rainbow. So I don't obviously have a brush for every different distress oxide color because that would be a lot. I think is there almost 80 distress colors, I think, something like that. But I am using oxides for all of these, and I just do find that they blend beautifully. And I really love using them, the Distress Oxide inks, for this type of process. And so now I'm just working on the next little bloom here. I think this one's more like a tulip. So the bottom layer is more of a deep corally pink. And then I'm just going with lighter colors for the top layers. And then the sweet little pansy here, you can just see I'm going to use some really dark and then light purple to add the two main layers for that one. And then there's two other tiny little pieces that work on top of the pansy as well, which I'll use a little bit of yellow and orange for those little bits. And that's going to finish off that sweet little pansy as well. So you could definitely use all of these die cuts here for other projects as well, not just the April shower sets. You could use this little bird with some of your other lovely layers, or any other projects that you're working on with Honeybee. So you can definitely mix and match these lovely layers together. And I love that about the Lovely Layers dies. I think they're so versatile. And I'm just going to use a little bit of that peacock feathers again for the handle of the umbrella, and then some black soot for the actual rest of the handle and the pole. And then I just have a few little leafery pieces here, and I'm not going to use all of these on this project. I'm only just going to use those two smaller leaves for my project here today, but I will just go ahead and color those because I do have them die cut, and I will just save those for another project. So now I'm ready to start to glue my layers together. And I love that Honeybee has little etched and embossed lines in the die cut so that you can see where they fit together. It makes it really easy. And then of course they always have a layering guide that comes with your die set that helps you layer things together. So the umbrella, what I do here is I'm going to put the handle piece or layer on top of that, the handle, and then I'll go ahead and add this piece here onto the base so that we do have that black sticking out the top there for the black part of that handle, and then this piece will layer over top. And of course you can use your dimensional adhesive if you want. You don't have to use liquid adhesive if you want there to be a little bit more depth and dimension. You can definitely add your layers with some thin foam adhesive. I did not do that for this project, but you can just see that there, you can still definitely see the layers, the way that the dies are designed without using any dimensional adhesive. And then I'm just going to put this sweet little pansy together. I love this little pansy. I think it's absolutely adorable. Pansies, I think, are my favorite. Well, pansies and peonies are both my favorites. So I really, really love this little guy. And then this little bloom goes together super, super quickly. Now, once you get your lovely layers together, you could actually go back and add a little bit more ink blending if you wanted to add a little more shading and detail. If you didn't do that when you were ink blending, totally up to you. I did not do that for this particular project just because I thought everything looked really cute and whimsical the way that they are. The way that they came together, but you could definitely, you know, do that, add some more details once you have your pieces put together. And with the smaller detail blending brushes, you can definitely achieve that for sure. Now this little bloom, you go ahead and put this little throat piece in first before the top layer. And there are embossed lines on that bloom that help you put that into just the right spot. And then this sweet little bird goes together super easy as well. Now there isn't, at least I didn't think there was, and I could be wrong, but I didn't think there was a die cut for the little eye for the bird. And so I will show you how I got the eye piece in there. I just added a little bit of black gel pen and white gel pen. And I think my camera is not going to focus very well here. I apologize for that, but there is a little embossed line to show you where the eye goes. And that was really easy to do. Now I'm using my decal edge trimmer to trim out my card front. So I'm just going to trim it slightly smaller than a A2 size card base. So I'm trimming this to 5 by 4 or 5 1/4 by 4. And here you can just see I'm just using the various different patterns on my decal edge trimmer to create that edging. And that just adds a little bit of interest to my card front. Now I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water, and now I'm just going to do a little bit of brayering on the background. I was kind of trying to create a little more interest in my background for this project. So I'm just adding this tumbled glass with my brayer onto the damp background. Then I'm going to spritz it with some more water and add a little bit of stormy sky. I kind of wanted to create a little bit of a look of rain falling in the background. And so that was the method to my madness here. And you'll just see me just creating a really grungy, messy looking background. I really love the looks of that. So once that's almost dry, it's still a little bit damp, which is great for embossing. I'm going to put this into the Sandy's Garden embossing folder, which is a beautiful 3D folder. And you can see how pretty that is. And now I have adhered it to a black A2 card base. And I did add that onto my card base with some foam adhesive. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my little die cut pieces together. I'm adding lots of foam adhesive as I add these onto my project just because I wanted that dimension, but you may not want that if you're creating a card similar to this. I just like that look. And so I'm just going to hold the boots together with my foam adhesive and then add them onto my project. I love this umbrella. I think it's adorable. I think there's so many fun things that you can do with this. I know one of the projects that I've seen from the team was by Ilda. If you haven't seen that, or if you don't follow Ilda on Instagram, I'm sure you do, but you should definitely check out Ilda. She has beautiful card designs, and she did a really, really cool card with the umbrella die. So you have to check that out. But the team has come up with some really fun, different ways to use this die set as well. So make sure you follow Honeybee Stamps too in social media so that you can see all of the different inspiration for these projects. And of course, check out the website because Honeybee does a really great job of updating images on the website so you can see different inspiration with these different dyes. So that is the general design for this project. Now I'm going to add some details. I did spritz my whole card with some clear shimmer spritz, and now I'm just adding some white splatter. And then I'll be ready to add my sentiment. So I just find that this adds a really nice cohesive element to the project. It just kind of brings everything together. And I love that, just that little bit of texture and detail and interest that that splatter adds. Now, this is the Blessings of Spring sentiment set and coordinating die. This is a beautiful set. If you have not checked it out, make sure that you do. It's really lovely. So I used one of the sentiments from that set. I stamped it out and die cut it with a coordinating die and got that ready to go. And I've got just a little bit of foam adhesive on the back of that. I'm going to go ahead and add that on with my Honeybee tweezers. Now I'm also going to use the ornate card stand. I die cut that out of white cardstock. I love how this folds up perfectly and fits into any 2-size envelope so that you can send this to your recipient and then they can use this to display their project. Friends, I have included everything in the description box below that I've used today for my card. Those are links to the different products in the Honeybee shop if you'd like to purchase any of these different items that I've shown you today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I think that it's your time to blossom. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.